I'm now continuing west to Urubamba, stopping off at the small village of Lamay.
This is the village.
It's fat.
We stopped in the small village of Lamay. It's known as the village of the cuy, or the guinea pig, because it's famous for its roasted guinea pig, which is one of the national foods of Peru.
That good?
A lot of bones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another guy, Japan.
Yeah, Fujimori.
Fujimori.
He was President Alberto Fujimori in the 90s.
Yeah, he was good or bad?
He was very good.
Good? Why he's in the jail when he was good?
I'm going to explain you now. We had two terrorist groups here in Peru during the 80s and 90s. One of them was the Shining Path. Maybe you heard about that?
Yeah.
And the other one was the Tupac Amaru movement. So all of them Maoist, extreme socialism. So they wanted the power of Peru. So once this President Alberto Fujimori started to rule Peru in the 90s, he captured the leaders of these two terrorist movements. One of them was Abimael Guzman, the Shining Path leader, and the other one was Polay Campos. So that he captured, because they started to kill people here in the Andes, in the countryside, these terrorist movements. A lot of people, So that's why the people from the Andes, we are very, we want to say thank you to this president, always, But what happened? Later, in the third term of this president, he was involved in corruption. He used to transport drug, cocaine, in our, airplanes to other countries. He's in the jail because corruption.
His wife was to try to be president.
No, wife or daughter, I think.
Yes.
Daughter or wife?
Daughter. It was his daughter.
No, ona pluje.
That's Yamaku.
We're on the banks of the Urubamba River. This is like the most sacred river of the Inca, and this is actually the same river that flows from the source of the Amazon. My final stop in the sacred valley is the ancient citadel of Ollantaytambo. This is Ollantaytambo, and this is one of the many royal estates that was built by the 9th Inca Sapa Pachacutec in the 15th century. Now, the word Tambo was a type of rest stop, and Ollanta was an Inca general who fell in love with Pachacutec's daughter. And like most of his royal estates, he had this one constructed after he killed off the local tribe who lived in this area previously, and in this case it was for refusing to pay taxes to him. And he had it constructed with slaves that he had brought in from Lake Titicaca, and these slaves also included children of the general who he defeated. Now, in many Inca sites, this served both as a fortress as well as a ceremonial site, and this fortress specifically guarded the north entrance to the sacred valley.
The local people drink straight from the river?
I will show you the Wari later. Terraces. Quechua, we call Ant. Spaniards came here, they ask the name, these terraces, and the local people says Anti. And from that word comes Andes. This hypothesis that they use, this protuberance on the walls as a decoration. But some scholars says no, to pull up the stones. But take a look at the size of the stones, big ones. So that's why we consider this one as a decoration only. Decoration.
This right here is called the Temple of the 10 Niches for obvious reason, because right here we have 10 niches. And these niches, they will actually put an idol in it. Just stick your hand here and go, hello! There's actually an echo.
We are already in the top. Take your pictures.
Right up there you can see the granaries or storehouses. They would store grain in there, and they built them so high up both for security reasons and also because of cooler temperature. Right in that rock, you can see a natural rock formation that looks like Wari Kancha. He's the god of Inca gods. That structure up there, the Incas actually added to represent Wari Kancha's crown.
Archaeologists found these blocks partially carved. And how they brought this piece of stones? They are crossing the river, so they built that ramp using llama fat, sand, rolling stones, cylinder stones. They brought, these big blocks. Of course, many people died.
This is the wall of 6 monoliths.
3 indentations. One here, in the middle we can see another one, and on top there are 3. Also represent these 3 Andean worlds. Upper world, this world, underground world. You can see steps here. This is the Inca cross. We call Chacan.
This right here was the temple to the water god. Ollantaytambo is most famous for being the site of the only Spanish defeat by the Inca. In 1536, following the defeat at Saksaywaman, Manco Inca retreated here to Ollantaytambo. In January the following year, around 100 Spanish troops and 30,000 native allies under the command of Hernando Pizarro attempted to capture Manco Inca in the fortress, but when they arrived, they were met with a barrage of rocks, spears, and arrows. The Incas flooded the entire valley below the fortress, forcing them to retreat. But their victory was short-lived, as just a few months later, the Spanish returned with 4 times the force, this time under the command of Diego de Almagro. Manco Inca was forced to retreat to his jungle stronghold of Urubamba, and Ollantaytambo fell to the Spanish. I'm now making my way back to Cusco to prepare for the final leg of my journey. I don't feel too good. I don't know if it's altitude sickness or something. I ate, but I feel sick. Oh shit. I've traveled abroad many times, and this is the first time I felt this sick abroad. Oh shit. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Still have some places we need to see. Oh man. We're on our way to a Peruvian hospital. I just spent over 12 hours in a Peruvian hospital with food poisoning. The doctor prescribed me some antibiotics, so I hope you'll feel better and we'll be able to get back to our adventure tomorrow morning. We're at the train station in Poro and we're boarding the expedition train to Machu Picchu. With my health back in order, I'm ready to embark on the final leg of my journey, a spectacular 4-hour train ride to Machu Picchu. I guess this is the line for the shuttle to take us up to the site. We're gonna be here a while. Wow, beautiful. Really incredible. This is it, Machu Picchu. The name Machu Picchu actually translates to Old Peak, and the mountain over there you can see it's Awana Picchu, which means Young Peak. This was actually a royal estate constructed around 1450 for Emperor Pachacutec. He had it constructed after defeating the Chanca tribe, which inhabited this area previously. But this served not only as a royal estate, but also as a ceremonial and astronomical site and a place of refuge for high Inca priests. Archaeologists have divided the site into 3 sections: religious, residential, and agricultural. The town was relatively small by Inca standards, made up of just 150 buildings ranging from baths and houses to temples and sanctuaries, and housing no more than 1,000 people, most of which are believed to have been members of Pachacutec's family clan. Archaeological evidence shows that the Inca were not the only people to live at Machu Picchu. Artifacts found at the site show that tribes from the highlands and Lake Titicaca regions resided here as well. The city was only inhabited for less than a century. It was mysteriously abandoned in the 1530s around the start of the Spanish conquest. Theories as to why range from drought to smallpox to civil war between the Atahualpa brothers, and the fact that the city wasn't even known to most Incas, as access was restricted to a select few. However, the city was never found by the Spanish, making it the best preserved Inca site in Peru. Though the site had been known to local Indians for centuries, it didn't become known to the rest of the world until July 24, 1911, when it was rediscovered by Yale archaeologist Hiram Bingham with the help of some local Indians. Though at the time of his discovery, Bingham actually thought he had discovered the lost Inca city of Vilcabamba. The discovery of Machu Picchu went down as one of the greatest archaeological finds in history, and today the site is known worldwide and is the most visited destination in South America. Though he is no longer with us, Hiram Bingham is still one of the world's most famous explorers, and was even the inspiration for Indiana Jones. Though the rediscovery of Machu Picchu is attributed to Bingham, carvings found on the walls of the Temple of the Three Windows suggest that a group of missionaries and explorers stumbled onto the site a few years before Bingham. That complex of buildings we see right there is the Palace of the Nusta. It is believed to have served as a sanctuary for virgins of the sun, a special group of women, some as young as 6 years old, chosen each year to serve the sun god. This structure right here is the Temple of the Sun. This cave-like structure we see right here was the royal tomb. It was here that the highest members of Inca nobility would have been buried and worshipped, including the king himself. It was here that Hiram Bingham unearthed over 100 skeletons.
I'm going to tell you the original name. Listen and try to repeat. Apu contacta with a concha pachaya chachik. That's the original. For tourists we use Huiracocha, the short name. Here in the center part like altars, offerings. Remember, not humans, Machu Picchu, animals. So look at this green plaza. This is known as like a meetings plaza for the ceremonies. When the king came here from Cusco, he stayed here and talked, and everyone can listen. Down there is Wari, house of the joys of women, virgins of the sun. Who are the virgins? The most beautiful women. When I say that, people ask me, the king chose his wife from there? No, the king, he usually chose his sister as a wife. Why his sister? Because they want to keep the royal bloodline just for them, not for common people. And not only here, you know, Egyptians has the same. The kings in Spain, France, England, the same. So they practice the incest. They have problems with the children, of course, but they thought that was better. Okay, and the Inca had one wife, but a lot of concubines. This is a storage, food storage. Those doors to pass the wind, the ventilation, just to keep cold.
This strange-looking structure is the Temple of the Condor. Hiram Bingham thought this was a prison because of niches and dark dungeons he discovered.
On the wings there are some niches. In those niches the Incas put the mummies. Why the mummies on the wings? To take in from here to the upper world, to the heaven. Look at this cave. In that cave the archaeologists found llama, alpaca bones, because here they sacrifice animals, and the blood came here like offerings, like a condor drinking the blood of the animal, and they put the bodies there because, you know, the condor eats only dead animals.
Those structures up there are caretaker huts. It's where the people who tended the terraces would stay, but they also doubled as guard houses. From the streets of Old Cusco to the hills of the Sacred Valley to the spectacular world wonder, traveling through Peru has been the adventure of a lifetime. Despite some horror stories I read before coming here, Peru turned out to be one of the safest places I've ever traveled to. Most of the people I met were really friendly and proud of their culture and country. It wasn't always the easiest place to travel, and as I found out the hard way, hygiene is still a big issue. But if you do a bit of research and take the necessary precautions, you'll be perfectly fine. Despite a few setbacks, it still turned out to be one of my all-time favorite places. And if I'm honest, this is one place I wouldn't mind staying a little bit longer. But we have plenty more adventures still to come, so I'll see you next time in another amazing location.